everyone. I'm Caroline Armstrong for Continental Cablevision Channel 6, and we are here today at Westlake High School in Thornwood, New York, for what hopes to be a very special day for some local kids, as well as a day with an important message. I'm speaking about the Community Soccer Clinic being presented by Hitachi America Limited, and also here today are the American Youth Soccer Organization, also known as ASO. The clinic has been running now for 4 years nationwide, and it brings together kids and for soccer drills. They give away prizes. There's actually a grand prize of a portable CD player. There's 200 kids here. It ought to be a lot of fun. Also on hand, a couple of soccer celebrities. Soccer Tom Mulroy, soccer's foremost educator and entertainer in the Just Say No to Drugs and Say Yes to Soccer. Former Cosmo great and Olympic star Erhard Kapp. And flown in directly from Hitachi's corporate team in Japan just for the clinic are Aki Kanda and Dave Namora. It's bound to be a terrific success. We're finally getting some sun after a long week of rain, so why don't we go down to the field and check out the action. We're here speaking with Heinz Grutner, the regional commissioner of the AYSO, that's the American Youth Soccer Organization for Mount Pleasant. Heinz, tell us about the organization.
Well, we encompass Valhalla, Thornwood, and Hawthorne. We teach the kids how to play soccer, and we see that everybody has a good time in playing soccer. We give every child a chance to play soccer. We have some 500 kids within the program, and this is our 13th year now.
How many kids are we expecting here today?
Well, we're hoping for 200 to 300 children to show up. We've stressed with all the coaches that we feel that this is something important for them to come and see.
What's the strongest message you want to get out to parents and kids today?
Well, just that kids should have a fun time playing sports, and just so that they get the idea that sports is fun and not so much always winning, but a chance to play the game.
How many parents are involved with the AYSO?
Well, we have 40 teams. Each team has about 15 children in the team. A team composes a coach, an assistant coach, and we'll have a referee for each team. Hopefully, we always need volunteers, so we're always looking for volunteers within the group. But you don't have to be in the group to volunteer. You can work from outside. We have some people that volunteer that help from the outside. How
do parents get involved? How do they get themselves involved and their kids involved?
Well, they're involved through the school. They know that we exist, and when the kids become of pre-kindergarten age, they come and they join our group. We usually start in January, and we go 8 weeks in the spring and 8 weeks in the fall, all for one application fee. We supply the kids with the uniforms and full instructions for those 16 weeks.
What about the ages of the children?
They start from pre-K all the way up to 14, 15, 16 years old. Sometimes there are a couple older children that will stay.
That's great. Heinz, thanks so much for speaking with us. Looks like a great day.
Okay, it turned out to be a nice day.
That's terrific. Thank you.
This is what we're going to do. To start off with, gentleman on my left made a 28-hour plane trip halfway around the world to come here to visit us here in Westchester County, as well as some of the other places we've been on our Hitachi American Tour this year. He was a 10-year professional player for the Hitachi professional soccer team. He was a right winger as well as a midfielder, one of their top assist men for many years. He also played with the Japanese national team in international competition. This is Coach Dave. Let's give Dave a big hand. The next gentleman, his partner, took the journey with him, 28 hours. He's a goalkeeper. He had the top goalkeeping average in the Japanese First Division for almost 5 years, played for nearly 10 years. Also played with the Japanese Olympic and national team as well. Was one of the most valuable players, most valuable goalkeeper in the Japanese Soccer League. And his name is Aki. Let's give Aki a big hand. Some of you may remember the team that used to play not too far from here in the Meadowlands. This next gentleman played with them. He grew up in the New York City area, played youth soccer here just on the same fields you've been playing on. He then went and played at college where he was a 3-time All-American at University of Connecticut, where they won the national championship. He then went on and was a first-round draft choice to the New York Cosmos, where he played with players like Pelé and Beckenbauer. He now is a licensed coach. He runs soccer camps right here in this area. You've seen him here at your club before. He played with our U.S. Olympic team as well as our U.S. national team. A good friend of mine, Earhart Cap. Matter of fact, I used to go watch Earhart play when I was a kid. Just to let you know who I am, I grew up in the capital of the United States, New York City. I learned to play youth soccer there. I played professional soccer for about 13 years, both indoors and outdoors. I played with the Fort Lauderdale Strikers in the NASL, played with the New York Arrows in the MISL out of Long Island. I once held the world's record for juggling a soccer ball. Did that on top of the Empire State Building, 12,295 touches without the ball hitting the ground. I have my United States Soccer Federation A license. My name is Soccer Tom. How you doing? Okay, now, the first thing, and the only thing that I'm going to ask, because we have so many young people in one place, the only thing that I'm going to ask today is that while I'm speaking or my friends are talking, I don't want anyone else to talk. That's the only rule that we're going to have. Okay? The first thing we want to talk about is the difference between soccer and all of the other games and the different sports that we play. And there's one rule in soccer that makes soccer so much different than any other game or sport we play. What's that rule? We're not allowed to touch that ball with our hands. When we say can't touch it with our hands, we not only mean these two guys, we also mean you can't bat it with your arm. You're not allowed to hit it with your elbow, but you can use your shoulders, and we'll show you how to do that in just a minute. But we have a game that says no hands, and everything we do all day long, we do with our hands. We drive with our hands, we open doors with our hands, and our game says no hands. One-way soccer players, not just here in the United States, but in Japan, in Germany, in Mexico, all over the world, learn to control a soccer ball is by juggling or tap-ups, like myself and my friends are going to try right now. And just like a good basketball player has to be able to control a basketball with both their right and their left hands for blocking and shooting and passing, a good soccer player has to be able to control a soccer ball with both their right and their left feet so they can pass and shoot and dribble and block. Or maybe you can use your thighs. Maybe you can use your head. Maybe you can use your shoulders. Maybe we could take the ball from the ground, and from the ground maybe we can put the ball in the back of our net. Maybe we could do some of those soccer push-ups. Maybe we could take the ball from our net and throw it up. Maybe you can make it look like you are going to kick that ball so hard, it is going to go so far away, and really you just kind of swing at it. It kind of looks like, yeah! Yeah! Or maybe we could take the ball from our foot and we can throw it up to our head. Applause! Applause! Where's the applause? Maybe we can take it from our head and we can roll it around our back. Maybe we could take it from our head. And when I was growing up, I used to have a coach. He used to say, if you want to be a good player, you got to make that ball your best friend. So when no one was around, I was one of those kids that whatever the coach said, whatever he said, that's what I did. So it got to the point where I used to talk to my ball. I used to go, yo, tomorrow night, big game, I need at least please 2 goals. Tomorrow night. It got to the point where the ball was talking back and said, give me a kiss. I said, what? Give me a kiss. You want to kiss? Come here. You want to kiss? Maybe can kneel down with it. Shut up. Maybe we can sit down with it. And of course, if you run out of places and you don't know where else to hit it, you can always use that. But it's just like anything else you do in life. It's just like reading a book. You don't take your first grade book home and you don't do your work with your second grade book. No second grade. And if you don't do your work in third grade, you don't do your assignments, no fourth grade. And if you don't do your work, you don't get out of school. Do you want to get out of school? Yeah! Then you got to do your work. Now let me tell you a true story. When we first started to play soccer, when we were growing up, we first started to play soccer, and back then all of the coaches talked funny. Now only some of them talk funny. Back then my coach said, well, today they're going to doing juggling. You know juggling? And I said, juggling? And then the guy got the ball up and he started to juggle, but I had never tried it before. And I didn't just walk up to my ball and go, yo, coach, Tom, juggle? No problem, what's next? Didn't work that way. A matter of fact, when we were growing up, and Earhart, this is a true story, and Earhart first tried to control the ball. He went in his backyard, he started to juggle, he kicked it through his window. So we're going to let you break the first rule. We're going to let you take the ball in your hands just how we have it. And all we want you to do is just drop it down and just hit it hard enough so it comes right back, just like this, nice and easy. I don't want you to hit it so hard that you... I certainly don't want you to hit it so easy. I want you to hit it just hard enough so you got a nice feeling right back your hand. Once you got it going once, then you go twice, then 3, then 400, 5,000, as many as you put your mind to. Now each one of us is going to pick one quiet soccer player sitting up straight with their hands down. And they're going to come out here and try it with us. You got a boy or a girl, Earhart? Boy?
Yes, Joe.
Go. Okay, here you go. This is all we want him to do. Watch. All I want you to do is just take the ball, and nice and easy, we just want you to drop it down and just try to make it come right back. Just easy. Just try to get it right back in your hands. Let's go. Go ahead. Try that. Good. Good girl. That's it. Nice. A little harder than that. Good. Good. Again. Good. Good girl. Now I want, guys, now try it here on your thigh, okay? Here on the meat. Let me see. Okay, here on the bone. Your parents feed you? I see more meat on a skeleton. Okay. Now you're going to go 1, but if you don't bring your leg up high enough and you hit your knee, the ball will bounce away. If you bring your leg up too high, you get like a mug job. Okay? So nice and easy. Here, 1, 2, 3, like that. Okay, let's go. Let's try that on the top. Good. Good girl. Good. 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 Okay, good. Now we want you to try it up on your head, just like this. But I don't want the ball to hit you. I want you to hit the ball. Don't let the ball hit you. So throw it up. You first, just demonstrate for us. Throw it up, and then hit it with your head. No, you have to. See, you had your mouth open. And if you have your mouth open, and this is true, this happened at Earhart's camp last year. True story. True story. There was a kid at camp, and he was about, what was he, 7, Earhart?
7.5.
Okay, 7.5. And the kid, he had his mouth open, and the ball came, and he swallowed, no, true story, he swallowed the ball. And it was in his neck, okay? And we had to hold him upside down and push the ball out. So keep your, true story? Okay, here we go, on your head, go ahead. Close your mouth, good, you're all try. Good, not too bad, good. Go ahead again. Good. Good. I want everyone to give these guys a big hand. Now we could sit here all day long and talk about different ways to juggle a soccer ball. We could talk about it sitting down. We could talk about it standing up. We could talk about it with one ball and two players. Dave, if you'll join me, where I can kind of control it, we can kind of have a little catch. And then I knock it over to Dave, and he controls it. Then he knocks it over to Earhart. Or we can include Aki. You can play with 4 guys, 5 guys, or a whole team. Thank you, but now we're going to play a little game with this. We're going to try to keep it up, but if someone drops the ball, like for example, if that hits him and goes down, then I want you to point at the guy, whoever it is, and I want you to go, you. Let's practice that. Here we go, watch. Here we go, ready? Okay, but hold it. One, I have to add one little twist. If either David or Aki drop it, I want, how do you say you?
Japanese say you?
Yeah, Japanese.
Anata.
Anata. Let me hear everyone go, anata. Let me hear everyone go, anata. Okay, here we go. You ready? Remember, if one of us dropped it, whoever you think made the mistake, I want you to point at him. Okay, here we go. You ready?
Oh, yeah, right.
Okay, here we go. Now we're not going to drop it. Here we go.
Team Japan.
Serious business. No drop.
Yeah, but you're not going to drop it.
Before we move along, there was one thing, that same coach I had when I was little, one thing he used to say was if you want to be a good player, you have to make, you have to make practice harder than the game. So I said, hi Mom. I said, how are you going to make soccer practice harder than the game? He said, if you have a smaller ball than the ball you play in the game with, and you practice with that, that will make it easier when you come back to the regular ball. So when I was growing up, I actually grew up over in the Bronx. Okay? He lived across the street from me. His family owned a bowling alley. And they had a ball made up for me. Here it is. At one point, this ball was a bowling alley. was a bowling ball, and they took it out of their alley and they had it turned into a soccer ball for me. You can see how much smaller it is than the other ball. You can imagine if you can control this ball, when you go back to that ball is going to seem a lot easier. You're going to have a better touch. Now, David's only been in the country for about a week, and he saw this ball a week ago when he got here. We did our first clinic in Atlanta, but he's kind of taking it on as a little project. And after just a couple of days of practice with this smaller ball, he can almost do anything with this ball that he could do with the regular size ball. Watch. Feet, size. No, it's not a bowling ball anymore. It's a soccer ball. It used to be a bowling ball. Give him a hand, yeah!
The clinic today has attracted over 200 kids. The future soccer stars are all around us, but right now we're standing with a real soccer star, Tom Mulroy, the foremost educator and entertainer in the soccer world today. Tom, thanks for speaking with us.
My pleasure. Happy to be here.
Thank you. Tell us about the organization and your involvement.
Well, what Hitachi does is in various places, various markets around the country where they have subsidiaries, they go into the community to work with the kids and let the people know that they're not just there to come in and take jobs, but rather give jobs and work hand in hand with the community. So one of the things they do is a soccer program where they bring over some of their professional players from Japan to kind of make an international exchange of it, a little international flavor, and those players come out and we show some skills and we do some things with the young kids.
Tell us about your involvement with Just Say No.
One of the messages that we pass as we go around the country, and this year we're in 5 or 6 states already, we're dealing with young people that are going to be making important decisions in the next few years. And we feel that sports is the right road for the kids to take, and we want to try to keep them away from the negatives. And one of the messages we pass is them being able to make the proper decision, that's to say no.
Speaking of the organizations, are the organizations to soccer what Little League is to baseball?
Yeah, and surprisingly enough, a lot of people in this country feel that soccer, when the Cosmos were in their heyday, that was the days of soccer. And now that that professional soccer has kind of slowed down a bit, that soccer has fallen by the wayside. Where really last year over 15 million kids played soccer in the United States, and it's the #1 youth team sport in the United States for kids that are under 12.
Well, since most sports have a certain physical prerequisite, you have to be a certain build, a certain height, what's the quality that these kids have to have today to be maybe the next future soccer star?
Well, the one good thing about soccer is if your feet reach the ground, you can play. And other than that, really it's any type of an athlete. You can be big or small. It takes a lot of agility. And the good thing about soccer is that it teaches good social values, because rather than the object being go through people to get to your goal or objective, the idea is to work collectively and use your best abilities to get around people to get to your highest point.
Can kids make it just on hard work and determination even?
Well, I think that's certainly a quality that comes with any type of success, and it's something important with soccer.
What about the girls in soccer?
Well, actually, it's hard for a lot of Americans to believe, but our women just recently won a World Cup in women's soccer over in China in front of 60,000 people. So right now, here in the United States, our women are looked at as the best soccer players in the world.
Now, we know that there's the Olympics this summer in Barcelona. They're going to have the Summer Soccer Olympics?
Yes, well, the regular Olympics, and as part of that Olympics, our team has qualified. We actually qualified first in our division ahead of Mexico, which is the first time that's ever happened. And then in 1994, the World Cup, which is the largest sporting event in the world, it starts with 140 countries and ends up with 24 countries. And this World Cup, the 1994 World Cup, will be hosted in the United States in 9 cities.
That's going to be in the Meadowlands?
Meadowlands will be one of the places, and it give or take, should bring about $400 to $500 million in tourism revenue to the New York area.
You think it'll finally popularize soccer enough to put it on the map here in America?
Well, I don't know if it's going to put it so we're at the same pace as baseball and football, but certainly it will give it a shot in the arm, you know.
What's keeping soccer back from becoming a national pastime sport?
Well, it is at the recreational level. It is a national pastime. For young kids this age, you're going to see fields packed with kids just like this field all over the United States. It's just at the professional level, it hasn't really made its mark. And one of the reasons is soccer hasn't really been designed for television. You know how football has timeouts and baseball has innings and basketball has plenty of timeouts.
Right.
Soccer's a 45-minute half. When the whistle blows, you start. When it blows to end the half, 45 minutes later it ends, which makes it a little difficult for television. But as far as the spectator end of it, we still have a long way to go. But from a participant level, as you can see here at this field today, they're all over the place.
What's the message you want to get across to the parents and the kids here today?
Well, one of the things is for the parents, a lot of parents get kind of tied up in youth sports, and I think our message to them is that your kids are here to have a good time. They don't necessarily have to be little Pelés, but they have to get some self-esteem from the sport and have some fun. And for the kids, the number one message is having a good time.
Continental Cablevision Channel 6 is proud to be giving away 300 of these water bottles to the kids participating today. With this heat, they've really come in handy this afternoon. For those of you parents out there interested in getting your kids involved with the American Youth Soccer Organization, you can contact your local recreation department for information. For those interested in contacting Hitachi about the community clinics, the number you can call is 914-332-5800. Soccer's a great way to get families and kids together for an afternoon. At Westlake High School, I'm Caroline Armstrong for Continental Cablevision Channel 6. See you next time.